Hello everyone, Max is back here. Welcome back to HeartGold and SoulSilver. Last time, we made our way to Ecruteak City and explored a bit, getting a few hidden items, and finding the dowsing machine. Probably should have said that in reverse order. This time, we're going to be progressing a bit into the story. However, don't expect much beyond this area. There's not much to do inside of this little tower, as the episode is primarily going to be focused on bios of the Pokemon in the immediate vicinity. Starting off our Burn Tower encounters, we have Coughing. Level 35, actually this is probably more important than the bios right now, Uzine. My name is Uzine. I am on the trail of a Pokemon named Suicune. Who are you? And you are Max, glad to meet you. I heard rumors that Suicune is here, so I came to look at the basement through the hole in the floor. There, Suicune is down there. If I could go downstairs... I cannot read, but I know it would run away in no time. I know, I have tried many times. Actually, we should probably go first. The gym leader, I am just I am all over the place. We should probably go check out the gym first, see if we can get any hints about what he uses as a specialty for his type, because one thing I actually forgot to make note of is purple. There's a few types this could be, and it's not overly clear, so want to get it cleared up so you are prepared to go ahead. You have business with the gym leader? Morty, the gym leader, has gone to the Burn Tower. Sorry, but you'll have to leave. Oh, so you're Santa Claus? Yeah, I was actually just lying about wanting to go get hints about things. I knew he had to go here as I walked in here accidentally off screen thinking I was in recording and just wanted to go show you guys that. So we do have to go to the Burned Tower, and there's probably a guy named Morty in there somewhere. Now back to the bios. Coughing. This is an interesting Pokemon. It's not particularly good at attacking. What it specializes in is physical defense. It has decent mixed offensive stats. However, its main draw is using Explosion and Self-Destruct on the physical side, and on the special side, pretty much just using Sludge Bomb for poison damage. It's not terrible at what it does, but it's meant to just go in, maybe poison an opponent, get them down to low HP. Next Pokemon comes in, Self-Destruct or Explosion, and then move on to your next Pokemon. It's probably not going to be a game winner, but it can just serve as a lead to get some difficult, annoying Pokemon out of the way. It has a 5% chance of holding the Smoke Ball, which is an item I sort of alluded to back in Goldenrod. The item that works like the Pokemon doll that allows you to run with in battles freely. This is that item. Using the Stantler Compound Eyes strategy I mentioned a while ago is very effective for getting this item. And now we actually have our rival right here. Oh, it's you. You must be here to catch the legendary Pokemon to make yourself look strong. That is only a dream. You see, the legendary Pokemon suits a trainer like me who is sworn to become the strongest trainer. A battle with Team Rocket Grunts is just right for you. We have our rival encounter here, and hopefully he has made his team stronger, as we have gotten a lot stronger, and well, let's see what he's got. Starting off with a Ghastly. Oh, this is a perfect match for Callion. Mean Luck. Not a bad move to have on a Ghastly. Is a particular Pokemon, well, particularly two Pokemon that would be, well, actually three, considering this game, that it would be very helpful in, though you're probably not going to survive this. What'd I say? And Magnemite. Alright, you went to some of the surrounding areas. I was actually going to go over Magnemite soon. Let me go on. Actually, Magnemite is actually right out right now, so I might as well mention it. Magnemite, this is on the route to the west of Ecruteak City. I think it's Route 38. It is a great special attacker. When it evolves at level 30, it gets even greater special attack. It has very solid physical defense, and its special defense isn't terrible, as well as its speed is pretty good for what it is. It's very good as a special electric attacker, and it does get the very good special electric and special electric and steel moves. It can do this job very well, and with its evolution Magnezone, however, you cannot obtain in this game because this game is stupid. It's very powerful. When it becomes Magnezone, it becomes even better at doing those things. And just it's all around a great Pokemon. Magnet Pull is the better of its abilities. Sturdy, not so much. Or Soundproof, right? So, is Magnet... I can't keep abilities straight. I get mixed up with all the games. Basically just Steel... Yeah, never mind that. Never mind with abilities. So I'm going to go over it more in depth later. He's got a Zubat. Zubat done. This is Croconaw. Yep. He has evolved in his... your rival will always be having their second stage starter if it is... Not second. It depends on how you go stages. He'll always have the next stage in the starter's evolutionary line. Be that Croconaw if you picked Cyndaquil. It will be Bayleaf if you picked Totodile, and if you picked Chikorita. Why can I not think right today? If you pick Chikorita, it will be a Quilava. The rest of his team will remain the same, unlike other games where your rival has a different team composition depending on what your starter is. This is not like those games. I'd say that's surprising, but then again, you're meant to be tanky, and also Croconaw is not terribly glassy. It's got decent defensive stats. Alright. Yeah, with Magnemite, I'll just go over it more in depth later. Just didn't really know he had a Magnemite. I knew we were facing our rival now, I just didn't remember he had a Magnemite on his team, and I wasn't 100% prepared for it. Alright, Croconaw is down. There we gained experience. Yeah, your rival is really the only person of adequate level I find. I'm not fighting with another weakling ever again. Just no fun just playing around. Yeah, missed that. I don't like how the text just automatically scrolls. Whatever. You'll be able to catch a legendary Pokemon anyway. Oh, I look forward to proving him wrong. And that's most of what we can do up here. We have a statue that looks like the gym statues. Can't do anything with it, though. I don't know why, but I just like the layout of the burned tower. It's... If you know the backstory and the whole mythology, if that's the right word, behind this place, it's kind of, in a way, grim. And I really like that. It's one of the many... Why am I flinching twice in a row? Jeez, not to interrupt myself, but... It's kind of grim, and more so than typical in Pokemon. Like, Pokemon games do have a bit of dark undertones at times in the series, but this is a bit much. If you don't know the story of the Burned Tower, it is that a long time ago, there was a... Depends on what iteration of the story you're going in, if it's the show, or if it's the games, or I don't even know if it's different in the manga, but there was a fire that broke out through some means. Sometimes it's said to be like a lightning bolt that struck the tower, sometimes it's, a conflict between two people, whatever, that burned down the tower. Inside of the tower, there were 3 Pokemon that, grimly enough, burned to death and died in the fire. These 3 Pokemon were resurrected by a legendary Pokemon. This was hinted at by one of the people in the houses, saying that there was a large Pokemon that was very powerful. This was that Pokemon. The Pokemon was Ho-Oh, which resides at the Bell Tower, another tower in Equity City we have not visited yet. Ho-Oh revived these 3 Pokemon, and they became the 3 legendary Pokemon we see below us. It's a very grim story, in my opinion, that just these Pokemon did burn to death and die, only to come back, and the reason they are inside of the tower and not just roaming around is people feared their strength, that they came back, and they are now much more powerful now. It's kind of sad, and it's just something that's kind of dark for Pokemon. Pokemon games do at times have very dark things, as I've said. But this is just one step further. I mean, granted, it's not Generation 7 Mega Evolution Dex entries. Those things are nightmarish. This is just I don't know what to really say about this. This is just... I don't know. I mean, we're going to be hearing a bit more about it. I just felt to get this right out at the start, just because we are going to be doing a bit more bios in this episode, and we won't really have time to go over everything else. Yeah. There's a few trainers to fight in here and a few hidden items, though none of them are, I would say, particularly necessary. If there's any special ones, I will make note of them. I just like this place. I really feel that this could have been a bit more of a large sort of a dungeon, that maybe there were multiple floors to go on, maybe a floor above, and there is the basement below us, but maybe it's like some kind of floors above us that are burned, and as you go up the tower more, there's less floor, and because there's more fire damage there. I really like this place. I hope that if we ever get some sort of a remake of Generation 2, well, a remake of Generation 2, they kind of do a bit more with the burn tower, because it's just an interesting place. Oh, growl for intimidate. That's not good. Just want to switch that out. Yeah, but as I said, there's going to be a lot more bios, so you're probably not going to hear much commentary on too many things in the game, aside from maybe one or two extra things. In the basement of the burned tower, there's another Pokemon we can catch, which is Magmar. Unfortunately, much like many other Pokemon, its Sinnoh Generation 4 evolution is cut off. You cannot get Magmortar, but Magmar on its own is actually a pretty good Pokemon. Very good mixed offensive stats, and a decent move pool. It gets some fighting moves, but it primarily relies on its special fighting type attacks. Special fighter type attacks. It cannot speak today. Sorry if I'm repeating that, it sounds like a broken record. It gets Flamethrower, Lava Plume at not too unreasonable levels, and a decent attack stat to back it up. However, if you did choose Cyndaquil, Typhlosion is better than it. However, if you didn't pick Typhlosion, or well, you didn't pick Cyndaquil as your starter, it will do very well as a fire type on your team. Its baby form, Magby, can only be gotten by breeding, so it doesn't really matter unless you're breeding for certain egg moves, at which point a Magby will evolve into a Magmar at level 18. Pokeball. Pokeball is not, was not a Pokemon, I just got unlucky there. I don't like how when you can turn, sometimes you do encounter Pokemon. I always found it a bit annoying. This is just getting bored. I'm probably just going to fast forward and cut to the basement of this place. Burn Tower, the basement. This is where you'll be able to find Magmar. There's a few different looking rocks there. I might want to think about that. Did you see it? Suicune raced like a blur right in front of my eyes. So it was a blue blur. Gotta go fast. I've been chasing Suicune for almost 10 years, but I've never been this close. I'm all choked up. Are you sure it's not just the smoke residue? By the way, it was clear to me that Suicune took notice of your presence. Ecruteak's legendary Pokemon are said to come to people only when they recognize their talents. Perhaps I should be more aggressive towards Suicune. Anyway, Macus, we will meet again. There are a few items down here, however, we can't get a good sum of them. There's another move that we haven't gotten yet that we actually can get right now that will be helpful for it. Too much battles. Just gonna walk out of here. I will meet you guys at the entrance of the burned tower. On second thought, I actually decided I might want to meet you guys over here. This is... Oh boy, sorry I bumped into you. Did I hurt you? Please don't cry. Here, take this. Obtained HM04. Put HM04 in our TM pocket. It's a move called Strength. When a Pokemon learns it, they can move boulders right in your way. Enjoy a happy mountain climbing life. That is an HM I wanted to make note of and get right now, as it is one of the HMs necessary to fully explore Ecruteak City. Well, Burn Tower more like it. Over here we get TM Shadow Claw. If you didn't get lucky from the lottery in Goldenrod, there's a free one right there. That's actually going to be pretty helpful for some stuff coming up. On Route 37, I believe is what it is, There are a few Pokemon we can encounter, however, they're only on the other side of this route. And I'm not going to be going to the other side of Route 37 right now, just because we have to go through this cave, and, well, we don't need any HMs to go through this cave, Mount Mortar. It'll take us a lot out of our way, and a lot of stuff opens to us right now. So I'm just going to be going over the Pokemon in this immediate area of Mount Mortar. Starting off, our only new encounter for Mount Mortar, we have Marill. At first glance, its stats don't look too impressive. Its good defense and high HP is interesting, but its attack being pretty low might be a turnoff for a lot of people. However, when you look at its abilities, one stands out. Huge Power. This is a signature ability of this line, and it's a very powerful ability. It doubles Marill, and when it evolves at level 18, Azumarill physical attack. That base 50 attack might seem pretty small and say, okay, well, probably just doubles it to a base 100. Stats don't work that way. In reality, doubling a Marill or Azumarill's attack would be essentially a triple of the base. So you're essentially having a base 150 physical attack Azumarill. With an HP sponge stats and that high of an attack stat, that's actually pretty good. Its main thing is just using physical moves if it has huge power. It gets a couple of them, while most aren't too impressive until later levels. There are a few standouts. Double Edge is very powerful, of course, as you've probably heard, as its high-paced power, though recoil will be a problem. However, Azumarill is an HP sponge, it's got HP to spare. Rollout, if you want to be like Whitney and use Defense Curl Rollout, it can also do that. And its best move would probably be Aqua Jet as its priority, and it kind of compensates for its low speed, but that's an egg move, and you'll have to breed for that. Another move that it gets that is actually a pretty good water physical attack is Waterfall. However, we're not going to be adding Waterfall for a very long time. So just make note, you're probably not going to be using water moves on it for a while. Well, at least physical water moves. Azumarill's not that good of a special attacker. Also, Mount Mortar is the first place you will be able to encounter Fighting type is the first place you'll be able to encounter Wild Machop, so if you didn't do the trade for the Machop in Goldenrod City, or just didn't want to breed one to get No Guard, you can now catch them in Mount Mortar. Now over to Route 38, where we will continue more encounters. Starting off our Route 30... What? Oh! Oh no! Oh, this is not good. I didn't intend for this to happen. Oh no. Please, no, come on, catch, please. Please catch. No! That is our first encountering of Raikou. I actually didn't plan on that happening. Why did that have to happen now? That hurts. That is Raikou. It and the other legendary Pokemon, Entei, are going to be roaming around the region now. If you want to go looking for them, you can. They are very powerful and they are very hard to catch. I would not recommend looking for them, but if you manage to somehow luck RNG hacks and catch them, they are very powerful. I'm not going to go over them right now. I probably will be going over them soon, as I ran into that, and that made me start thinking I probably should bio them. As you can technically catch them now, I don't recommend it. But that's sidetracked now. Let's get over to the actual Route 38 encounters, starting off with Farfetch'd. This is a Pokemon that is underwhelming. It's got a fairly diverse move pool with flying, normal, even some dark moves. It was also the original user of False Swipe, but that's a bit irrelevant as it doesn't have the best stats. It has somewhat below average stats even of a flying type. A Pidgey or Spearow is going to be much better than Farfetch'd. It has a signature item, which is the stick, which boosts its critical hit ratio by 2 stages. However, Farfetch on its own isn't a terribly good Pokemon because it just does have low stats. That critical hit ratio also means that it's the critical hit chance boost, not boost to its attack stats. So high critical hit moves you're not going to be seeing any sort of big return on high critical hit moves. Another Pokemon on the route is Miltank. This is, if you remember Whitney's fight or had more difficulty with it, you hate this Pokemon. It's a bulky normal type, it's got good moves, and for what it is, it has high speed for some bizarre reason. It can use Rollout's Defense Curl strategy that Whitney tried to use on you, and has Milk Drink for self-recovery. Not the best Pokemon as a normal type attacker, but it can be decently tanky. Another normal type Pokemon on the route is Tauros. This thing is a little faster than Miltank, however offering a much higher physical attack. Most of its moves are normal type. It's a physical normal attacker, you're not going to be seeing it do much else. It can learn Zen Headbutt and Payback by level up, but that's not for about 10 more levels, so it will mostly just be throwing out neutral normal type stab attacks. It's got good speed and a good attack, but it's just going to be doing normal type damage. We got 20 levels, now that I look at what its wild encounter level is. Another normal type Pokemon is Snubbull. Oh, poor Snubbull. This is a Pokemon that got worse with generations that went on. But currently, it's a pretty good Pokemon. At level 23, it will evolve into a great normal type physical attacker. Granbull has a great physical move pool that complements its stats very well. 120 base physical attack combined with a diverse move pool. It doesn't have just good normal type attack, it has very good moves from many different types. It gets the Elemental Fangs, however, you're not going to be able to get those for a while as you have to use a Heart Scale to get those, and we don't have the ability to relearn moves. But that's beside the point. It does get some good moves. It gets Bite, Crunch, Lick, and the, of course, great normal type moves most normal type attackers get. You're not going to be seeing it do too terribly much right now, as actually, depending on what you teach it, it actually can do some pretty well against the next gym, as the next gym will have a bit of an advantage and a disadvantage against, but that's the point. It's a Pokemon that does have good stats, and its move pool does definitely complement it. Unlike these days where its best move is actually worse than its original best move. Now there's one more Pokemon on the route, that is Magnemite. I went over this quite poorly in the Burn Tower, but most of what I said applies there. It's a great special electric type. It does get some good steel special attacks. It also gets near exclusive access to the move Metal Sound. This is not a move most steel type Pokemon get, and even most Pokemon in general get. It's a special type, it's a special defense lowering move that lowers special defense by 2 stages. That is very good. And on a Pokemon that has very good defensive stats and also a very solid defensive type combination, I believe at this point, and even still today, Magnemite, Magneton, and Magnezone have the highest number of resistances of any Pokemon. So it's a very good Pokemon, to say the least. Its abilities, now that I actually have checked myself, I was right. It does have Magnet Pull as its ability, and also Sturdy. Sturdy, as you know, is not good. We've been over this before. Doesn't matter, because it's not the Generation 5 Amazing Sturdy we all know and love. However, its other ability is Magnet Pull. This is a bit of an interesting ability for competitive use, but not in a main story playthrough. It prevents Steel-type Pokemon from either switching out or fleeing. This is fairly interesting if you catch a Steel-type opponent in a bad spot, as it does doubly resist Steel, and there is going to be a few Steel-type Pokemon we are going to be facing soon, so it's a good Pokemon to have. If you're going to be going up against Steel types, definitely pretty good. It's a great electric attacker, it's a very solid Steel attacker, it's also one of the only special Steel types we are going to be encountering. Most Steel-type Pokemon are physical Steel attackers, and this is kind of the oddball out. And it's not bad at doing that. Very, very high special attack. Not terrible. Most Steel moves are physical based, and Flash Cannon is probably the best Steel type special move, which if you got lucky at the Goldenrod Lottery and did manage to get yourself a TM4 Flash Cannon, you can teach it right now, and it's going to be doing really good. Other than that, it does get Lock-On Zap Cannon, which is definitely a plus on a Pokemon that has a move that is a 100 base power special stab attack with a 100% chance of paralysis. Of course, 50% accuracy is definitely not good, but that's why it's got Lock-On. It's also very naturally bulky with a good type combination to resist, so it can survive long enough to use those moves, unlike some other Pokemon. That was actually a bit faster of bios than I expected. Well, it looks like we actually might be making some progress in the story today. I'm going to be heading over to Morty's gym, seeing what he's got, and hopefully battling against him. I'm not going to go over Entei and Raikou right now just because I didn't expect them and do not want to really deal with them right now just because I have very, very bad memories of trying to deal with them. If you can't tell, I don't like Pokemon that take forever and a day to catch, and these two, after playing Crystal, you will learn to hate these two. In this game, they are much easier to deal with. Actually, I should probably mention one thing that's good about them after the battle. As we can see in this battle, we are going to be fighting ghost types in this gym. Well, ghost or poison types. Then again, in Generation 1, they were indistinguishable from each other. All ghost types were part poison. Why are you using Mean Luck? I never got why opponents use Mean Luck. I mean, there are some strategies you can use involving Mean Luck, though. How the heck did Ghastly survive that? Okay, that actually does make sense, using Spite on me. That actually would make sense. By 4, alright. Yeah, Spite is an interesting move. It cuts the PP of the last move your opponent used. I believe it's by a random number. I don't know if it's by 4 every time or it is random. Mean Look actually is pretty effective against that. But then again, Ghastly doesn't really survive long enough to use that most of the time. Nightshade. It's an interesting move. Deals set damage based on your opponent by your level. Pretty good early in the game, as most Pokemon don't really take a whole lot of damage and you don't have good moves. Why are you just using Mean Luck? Jeez. Escape. Yeah. I kind of just want to have Lanayru out doing this just so Lanayru can get some experience. There's going to be a couple of battles that Lanayru is not going to be good for coming up soon. So I want to have it do some good stuff. If I just used Callion for this, we would just sweep them out in pretty much one move every turn, but Callion would be pretty much like level 30 by the end of this. And I don't want Callion to be too over-leveled. 4... Yeah, it would just be by 4 every single turn. Good, critical. Yeah. These fights are a bit annoying just because... I'm just rambling out at this point, but these fights aren't too entertaining in my opinion. There's just a lot of battles with a lot of Pokemon in them. Not... Let me ask you this. Would you guys like it when there's just one trainer, they have 6 Pokemon that are just low level, you can all pretty much one-shot, or them having, say, 1 or 2 Pokemon that are really high-leveled? I kind of always like having the trainer that has the few Pokemon that are very high-level, just because those are an actual challenge. You know, they actually have a chance against you, and the battle is over quick. This is just keep hitting one move, keep hitting one move, keep hitting one move, and it just takes forever and a day. Well, not forever and a day, it just takes an annoyingly long amount of time. Let's see. Alright, that happens. When you defeat an opponent in here, the light they have from their torches goes out. I forgot about that. I don't know if leaving the gym makes it come back. Okay, good, at least this one is due. Okay. Haunter. Oh, you gotta switch, I did switch Callion out. Come on, don't... Oh my gosh, confusion spam. Yeah, I just don't like how... Okay, why is it... I don't like when confusion happens in a story play. In competitive, okay, confusion that actually works because it's a strategy. This was just annoyance. Right. Well, at least we got a confusion. Yeah, both this gym and Whitney's gym I don't like because they're kind of just preventing you from attacking gyms. There is a person later in the game we are going to be encountering that also uses a similar strategy, though that one you're a lot better prepared for. I actually want to switch out Callion because Curse Curse works differently depending on the Pokemon using it. If the Pokemon is a Ghost type, they will cut their own HP by half of maximum. So if they're actually below half their HP normally, they will actually KO themselves. It's a bit funny when it happens, as it has happened to me. As you're seeing right here. Well, they're not going to KO themselves, but they are going to take half their HP out. If they manage to get this off on you, you will be taking damage at the end of every turn. The way to get rid of it is just switch out. If a non-Ghost type Pokemon uses Curse, they will instead cut their speed by 1 stage to boost their physical attack and defense by 1 stage. It's pretty good on Pokemon that are naturally very slow and aren't going to be missing anything by just ditching some speed and instead just getting more attack. I've decided I am going to evolve Firestorm right now. The move I was going to teach it was going to be Flamethrower, and because I'm going to go do Voltorb Flip for a while, I decided I definitely want to get Quilava right now. I'm going to be getting Flamethrower by TM, so I don't really have to deal with the low stats, low level thing right now. Why can't Quilava just use the fire on its head and tail to light things up? Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, we got this little platform there. I was wondering how we were going to get across. I spent spring with my Pokemon, then summer, autumn, and winter. And then spring came again. We have lived together for a long time. That's a vaguely creepy statement. Alright, I gotta be careful here. Alright, yes, but actually, you actually can't get around them because they're standing in front of it. Be careful over here. I think it's one more. Nope, of course. Well, I'm just gonna go heal up now. Oh wait, the lights came back on, okay. So it seems that when you fall down the pit or even just leave the building or just the screen refreshes itself, the light will come back on, so that's a helpful tip. Though, for something like me, and you've played this game enough, you can typically navigate the thing blind, though, as I just did, I didn't navigate it. Okay, fully restored, full HP, let's get going back to Morty. He's feeling better, so I take Lanier with us at any time. Actually, if you leave, they go back there, so you don't have to go around them. And yes, I was right, it is Morty. So is this like fog or water? Because that rock makes me think it's water or something. So if it was fog, wouldn't it be just flowing over the platform? Well, that's not important. What is important is Morty. How it's good of you to have come. Here in Ekrotique, Pokemon have long been revered. It is said that a rainbow-hued Pokemon will come down to appear before a truly powerful trainer. I believe that tale, so I have secretly trained here all my life. As a result, I cannot see what others cannot. I see a shadow of the person who will make the Pokemon appear. I believe that person is me. And you are going to help me reach that level. I cannot read today. Why can I not read today? But that's not important because now we have Morty. Awesome gym music, and starting off with Ghastly. Do not be fooled by this lead off. His team is actually pretty strong. I'll get Spite failed first turn. You're not showing that you're a strong trainer, Morty. Alright, so probably gonna KO him next turn. Oh, I was gonna say if Lick paralyzed me and then my static paralyzed him, that'd be pretty funny. Alright, Ghastly down. And we regain 427. Gengar, okay. This is what scares me. His Gengar is very strong. In my opinion, this is probably the toughest Pokemon you will face in this game so far. Both Whitney's Miltank and Bugsy's Scyther were powerful. They don't have anything on this Gengar. Okay, good. Hypnosis missed. Yeah, what will typically happen is he will lead off with Hypnosis, put you to sleep, and then just proceed to Dream Eater spam you into oblivion. Oh, I forgot. This thing has a berry. Citrus berry, yeah. I forgot it had a citrus berry. This is one of the reasons Great. And Hypnosis got off on me. Probably should have gone to try and get a Chesto Berry or something like that. Yeah, I recommend getting some Chesto Berries or even some Lum Berries soon before this, because they will make this fight so much easier. Let's see if Kanye is fast asleep. Yeah, stuck in there with Mean Look now. Sucker Punch. Does he not have Dream Eater? I swear he always had Dream Eater. Sucker Punch is its only move because the other move is Shadow Ball. Oh! It doesn't have Dream Eater. I might be thinking of the original game then. Yeah, I'm thinking of the original Gold, Silver, and Crystal where it had Dream Eater because Sucker Punch didn't exist back then. That actually makes this fight a lot easier. Sucker Punch is honestly a very easy move to avoid if you're using a normal type. As you can see, it can't use Shadow Ball on me because I am immune to Shadow Ball, and Sucker Punch only goes off when you're using an offensive move. That means if you just use a status move while you're asleep, it can't hurt you. Or you just make them burn all of their Sucker Punches, and then they can't do anything aside from just use Hypnosis on you. Now that is going to be a bit annoying, as he's just going to keep putting me to sleep over and over again. However, if I can wake up and use Yawn on him, that'll make this a lot easier. I don't know why I'm just having an easier time with these gym leaders than I normally do. Probably it's the Let's Play curse happening. Whenever something's hard, it's super easy when you're doing it recording, but when you're not recording, it's hard as heck. And the opposite is also true. Okay, good. She was drowsy. Ah, great. Didn't get lucky the third time. Well, I can just wake myself up after this with an awakening. Hopefully, he will not wake up next turn. Tag, status, awakening. Thankfully, I have one awakening. Use the awakening. I think I also had a full heal, so even if I didn't have an awakening, I'd have a way around it. Gengar is fast asleep. Knowing my luck, he is going to wake up next turn and use Hypnosis again. Okay, good. He didn't wake up. Come on, damage rolls, damage rolls, damage rolls. Yes! Wow, two of the hardest gym leaders, in my opinion, are now completely done. And you get a lot of experience for being that Gengar. 1017. That is amazing. He has a Haunter after this that he's going to be using, but if you can just fell the Gengar, these Haunter are really nothing to deal with. Well, nothing compared to the Gengar. The Gengar is the hardest Pokemon by far this early on, in my opinion, just because it just outstats so much. It just outstats almost anything you can use, and you don't have many good answers to it right now. Also, Hypnosis is a bit annoying. Alright, this is literally just waiting for things. Oh yeah, his oh crap, I should not have done that. I'm weak to Psychic. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, here we go, come on, crit. Dang it. Oh, I'm faster than you, so you get to try and use Hypnosis next turn, but won't get it off, so you go down. There we go, unless somehow Aerial Ace missed, which is impossible. If Aerial Ace somehow missed, this game would find a way. This game would, like, bug out or something. I did not mean to keep battling. I wanted to switch up to Firestorm. He has two Haunter. One of them is more powerful than the other in terms of levels, and I don't think their movesets are any different, though probably won't matter too much. Right, he's using Mean Look. Probably going to go for Hypnosis Dream Eater. You know what, I feel that Firestorm should have a, right, I just used Mean Look on me. I am an idiot. Oh, slow on the uptake. Right, Nightshade. That's not gonna KO. We've got more discipline than anyone else. No you don't. You know, the Hyper Potion, okay. I can't remember how many Hyper Potions or just healing items in general gym leaders have, just because it's different in every game. Some gym leaders have 2, some have 1, some have 3, depending on the game, and even within the game that changes numbers. Well, I'm sorry, Megalon. Time for Firestorm. Probably should have waited for Firestorm's first battle to be against Morty, but hindsight is 2020, as it seems to be with this episode in general. No longer escape. It's Flame Wheel. Yes, and the KO. How is this possible? Good money for winning. I don't think our potential was so different, but you seem to have something more than that. So be it. The badge is yours. We received the Fog Badge. We got that Blundell fog rolling in. Having the Fog Badge means Pokemon up to level 50, including traded ones, will now obey us. Also, Pokemon can use Surf. Yep, if you thought stuff opened to you after you got to Ecruteak City, we got even more stuff to explore now. There were a lot of areas we passed already, including the Union Cave and some other routes, that are now accessible to us in full because of Surf. This game kind of piles on the, oh yeah, here, you can do all this stuff right now. We're gonna probably get sidetracked for a good couple of episodes just exploring. We also received TM30. That is Shadow Ball. It causes damage and may reduce the opponent's special defense. This is a very good move. If you're using a Gengar, this is pretty much a must-have move. And let me see if any of my Pokemon can actually use this move, because this is a very powerful move. Ghost is largely unresisted. Huh. A normal type can use that. I mean, makes sense. Normal types can typically use a lot of moves. Togekiss in particular, I kind of remember, can use a large number of odd moves. Though, that's a bit much. Right, so we got Shadow Ball. It's a pretty good move, and it would have been very helpful for this gym battle, but Extrasensory is also the same power as it. Extrasensory is also the same power and also super effective, so it really didn't matter. There's a lot of Pokemon that actually can use Shadow Ball. It's a very interesting move. In Generation 1, actually, Shadow Ball was really kind of terrible on Gengar. Generation 1 through 3. In Generation 1, type determined whether a move was physical or special, unlike now, where each move is either physical or special. In Gen 1, Ghost was physical. So, Gengar was a special attacker, with both of its types being physical. Yeah, Gengar wasn't the best in Gen 1. It's kind of funny just how bad... It's kind of funny just how much the short end of the stick they gave it. So I say, in the next episode, we go looking for that HM Surf that Mori said we can now use now that we have the Fog Badge. And we spend a whole lot more time just exploring the region and not making any story progress because too much stuff opens up right now in Ecruteak. See you guys next time.